So my name is Felicity Woltman, and I'm joined today by Michael Deutsch, who's our VP of Products, and Marianne Koshmanek, who is a Senior Products Manager on our products team who's been working on MindManager 2016. So what we're going to talk about today are kind of the primary new features in MindManager 2016, which include flowcharts and concept maps, so totally new diagram types that really expand the possibilities for the way you can use MindManager. Some things that people have been asking for: a lot of you work with dual monitors and want to be able to work with maps on different monitors. We're now going to be able to do that. And a number of user interface enhancements, which if I have time, I'll go through some of them, but you'll probably notice them as I go through the demo, starting with the fact that when topics are collapsed now, you can see here that there's an indicator of how many subtopics are hidden and that you can expand. So there are lots of really great user interface enhancements like that that I'll try to point out as I go along. Let's go to the first big topic. Oh, I do want to say one thing, which is that Michael and Marianne are going to be answering questions during the presentation. So if you have a question, go ahead and enter it while I'm talking. And then at the end, we'll also do kind of a general Q&A question, and we'll answer questions through the audio. But if you have a question as we're going along, please feel free to type it in, and Michael and Marianne will get back to you. Okay, with that, we will get started. So for those of you who haven't used flowcharts very much, this is a basic flowchart structure. It starts with kind of a starting point, in this case a lamp that doesn't work. And then you have a decision topic. There's a question: is the lamp plugged in, yes or no? So these kinds of conditional topics represented by diamond shapes are very fundamental to flowcharts. And then what happens is, depending on the answer, yes or no, there are different results. You either go to a capsule, which is kind of an end state, plug in the lamp, or another decision topic. So this is the basic shape that I wanted to show you, and if you haven't used flowcharts before. Now here, what I've done is entered a legend that shows you some of the new topic shapes that are available in MindManager 2016 that make it really easy to create either basic flowcharts or complex flowcharts. So you can see across the top, if you haven't worked a lot with flowcharts, or if you have, you'll recognize these: the capsule for the process start and end points, diamonds for decisions, rectangles for basic process, and so on as we go across. Documents are represented by these wavy boxes, and these are now all available within topic shapes. So let's say we want to add to this. I want to show you how easy it is to add another element to the flowchart. So all I do here is click on Repair Lamp, click here on the Add. It's going to give me a line. It's going to add a topic. And let's say I want to add a topic which is Find Lamp Repair Place. And for that, I want to use the rectangle shape for a basic process or action. So all I do here is do a right click, get my topic shape, go over, you can see all the new topic shapes are represented, and click rectangle. Now if I want to add a decision to this, I can go up to my menu and you can see I have a new flowchart topic insert option or a new decision. So let's say I want to add a new decision, and then I just add that, and you'll see here are the line labels. So if I want to say Find Lamp Repair Place, and then I might set a criteria, and I might say within 10 miles of my house, and then I can say what I'm going to do: yes, start creating a list of the ones that are within 10 miles of my house, or no, I'm going to put those on a list in case I can't find one within 10 miles of my house. So you get the idea, and I mean the really great thing about this is that with all these different topic shapes now available with just a right click, you can create very elaborate flowcharts. So for people who are doing systems diagrams or process flows or any other kind of work where a kind of process and decisions and criteria are involved, this opens up a whole new world of applications for MindManager. So now let's talk about what you do if you want to create a brand new map. It's really easy. You go up, as usual, up here to the new blank map and click on From Template, and you'll see now there's a new flowchart template and there's a new concept map template. So when I click on New Flowchart and create a map, then I immediately get the format of the lines with the labels that I can start building out. And so from there, it's easy to add topics in any direction, and then I simply right-click to format that topic shape using one of the new shapes that are available. And if you're familiar with MindManager, all the controls that you would normally have in terms of fill color, line color, and so on, the text formatting, everything like that is available to you. So that's how easy it is to start creating your map. Let's get into a little more detail on a more elaborate map. So here's one that is kind of a common type of application for a flow chart, namely, inputting transactions, validating transactions. Are they valid? Yes, we're going to sort them. If they're invalid, we're going to send an error report. Now, right away, you'll notice here, error report is using the document shape because an error report is a document, but there's a regular MindManager attachment symbol here, and the reason is because, and this is completely unique to MindManager, all the intelligence and capabilities that you are accustomed to when you use MindManager to add notes, add links, add attachments, add icons, are all available to you within the flowchart as well. So here you can see an attachment. Oh, I have attached a sample error report, and just as I'm used to, it will pull up my sample error report in the embedded browser, so I have everything in a single view, just as I do when working with MindManager Maps. I can even add a task. So let's say we have a summer intern who's going to be inputting the transactions. Poor kid, I'm glad I don't have to do that, but I am going to say that the intern is going to input the transactions. So I can add task information to any of these topics just as with regular mind mapping topics. I can add start dates and due dates and so on. Now, if I want to build out kind of a more detailed set of tasks and priorities within this map, what I might want to do is, instead of adding a whole lot of information to the flowchart itself, I might want to add the high-level information like, okay, the intern is going to input transactions, but the validating the transactions and sorting the transactions is going to be done with some new systems. So I want to define the process for choosing those new systems. Well, I can add a regular tasks topic and set of tasks to the map. And so you can see, just as if you're familiar with using MindManager for project management, here you see that I've set up these tasks, I've defined the responsibilities. You can see the user interface here has been updated to make it very easy to see who's doing what and how many work days. Here's a note attached, a dependency, and it all rolls up. And the way that I do that is by entering a topic. So I might just enter a floating topic here to show you. And then I'm going to go to the Design menu and pick Layout. And this is where I can pick what type of topic it is, whether it's a map topic, org chart, or a flow chart. So this gives me the flexibility to add different types of topics within the same screen. Flowchart topics, write maps, org charts, and so on. So it's extremely flexible to be able to have all of this in a single view. You can, for example, let me just get that guy out of the way. You can even have budgets. So let's say we're talking about how this new transaction flow. I can add a budget within my map just as I can with any other MindManager map. So you can see that within a single view, I've got the flow chart showing the process that I can review with my team and validate the process. I can then create a project plan and identify all the tasks and confirm who's doing what, how long it's going to take, and so on. And I can add a budget or any other set of topics so we can say at the same time, well, what's it going to cost us to move to this new process of transaction validation and sorting? And you know, one of the great things about MindManager is its ability to help us communicate. So imagine that you're going to senior management with a proposal to create this whole new process for validating transactions. The ability to show the flow first, explain the flow, and then if the management team says, well, what's it going to take to get this done, you can then drill in, show all the tasks and the timing associated with it. What's it going to cost? Here's what it's going to cost. As you know, you can, within the map, change the numbers and have them roll up right away. So it's really expanding the capabilities of MindManager as a vehicle for communication and gaining alignment on kind of critical processes. Okay, I just want to see if there's anything else I want to do here. No. So the other type of new diagram type, there are a couple of new diagram types. One thing I want to show you here is that you can create quite elaborate flowcharts, including flowcharts that have swim lanes. And if you're not familiar with them, swim lanes are these lines that let you add a level of kind of detail to your maps that show who is being affected by the various steps in the process, or who is taking responsibility for the various steps in the process. And the way you can do that is, once again, if you go to New Blank Map Template, click here on the flowcharts, and you'll see that we've added a concept map flowchart, a flowchart with the horizontal swim lanes. Here's one without the background, vertical swim lanes, and so on. And then you can also, of course, create your own, but these templates will give you a really good start to creating these very detailed and kind of elaborate maps. In fact, my colleague and I used one of these today to detail out with our global team a new process for campaign management, and having the swim lanes and showing who was going to be affected by each step in the process was incredibly useful. Let's go to concept maps. Now, concept maps are really great for showing the relationships among different concepts. And so a lot of times for brainstorming, concept maps are really great, and they kind of fulfill the idea of MindManager as a virtual whiteboard, where you can just start entering topics and then you can annotate the relationship. So here's an example that would be hard to do in a mind map because different topics are related to each other in multiple ways. So what this is showing is, okay, how should we promote and advertise our products? I'm a marketing person, so this is something that I think about. And I've said, well, there's two main ways. There's social media, which is content, and then there's pay-per-click advertising. And so within pay-per-click advertising, you can actually pay to have ads on Facebook or LinkedIn. But those are also forms of social media where we have a Facebook page, we have a LinkedIn content, and we can post social content. So one of the great things about a concept map is that you see that Facebook, for example, is both social content and it's pay-per-click advertising. And so this is the kind of thing where you can lay out a lot of information and really illustrate what the relationships are of various concepts to each other. Now you'll see here that I have added priority markers to some of the media. So Google's a priority 1, LinkedIn's a priority 1, Facebook's a priority 2, and so on. Those are just random. Those actually aren't. But just as with a mind map, I can use filter. So I can filter on priority and show just the priority ones in the same way that I can do with any MindManager map. So once again, this is a capability that doesn't exist anywhere else. If you're using most flow charting tools, those are drawing tools, and they don't have the intelligence to search on content, to add priority markers and then filter on those markers, or use the map index to highlight those. All of those capabilities, all of that intelligence is available when you create concept maps or flowcharts using MindManager, making them much more flexible and enabling you to really add a lot of information without worrying about your flowchart or concept map becoming too complex. Because the more information you add, the more you can use markers and filters to focus in on those areas that you really want to examine more closely. Here's another example of a concept map, just to give you a sense of what you can do with them, that is about projects. So it's, projects rely on resources. Resources include tools, time, and people. And then you see all the various relationships that flow from that. And just to illustrate that you can, use colors and use the line annotations to create some really nice concept maps. Now that was a pretty quick overview, so I want to open it up for questions that I know Michael and Marian have been answering questions as we go along. I want to open it up so that if you ask a question, we can answer so the whole group can hear it. I did want to mention one thing, which is that if you are interested in getting the new version of MindManager at a discounted rate, we have a couple of promos. If you're an upgrader, you can learn more by going to mindjet.com/now. And if you have MindManager 15 for Windows, you can pre-order your upgrade at mindjet.com/wow. So those are some promos that we have going on. But yes, so there's a question. Sorry, I'm going to hold on for just one sec.
Michael, I can't see any questions that come in.
Okay. Okay, so wait. Okay, so sorry, we just had to change our GoToWebinar settings. So we are going to start answering questions, and we can just answer them verbally, Michael. So. So let me see. So there's a question about whether MindManager 2016 is available to download, and the answer is not yet. The actual availability date is October 15th. So that's when MindManager 2016 will be available to download, either if you have a license to download your new version or to trial. Let me see what other questions there are. Just to confirm one more time, the release date is going to be October 15th, so a couple of weeks, 2 weeks from Thursday, I think that is. So that's when you'll be able to get your hands on it. And as I said, if you do buy MindManager now, or upgrade MindManager now, you will be covered. You will get the new version. So if you don't have the most current version of MindManager, or you haven't purchased MindManager yet, there's no reason to wait. Go ahead and get MindManager now so you can get started. And then when the new version comes out, you will be sent an email telling you where you can download the new version at no additional cost. And we do have a couple of promos going, so I encourage you to check those out if you are eligible for an upgrade.
Have you considered creating an option to,
okay.
You consider creating an option to create maps without a central topic?
So there's a question about, have you considered an option to create maps without a central topic? Yes, in fact, that's what the flowcharts let you do. So let me just show you that when you create a flowchart, this looks like, it might look like a central topic, but it's not a central topic. So you can say this could be the final stage, and you can say let's see here. So this can be start, then you can have option 1, and so on. So it's not, you can add a new decision. So there is no central topic. And you can, of course, add floating topics anywhere, and those will also be, if you've started with a flowchart template, those will also be flowchart topics. So that's one of the things that people really like about flowcharts and about concept maps, is that you can add lines anywhere and annotate them, and they are not bound by a central topic. So for example, I can add this here, and I can say yes or whatever. So hopefully that helps. Other questions?
Someone asked if there are swim lanes.
Yes, so swim lanes are possible. Here is here's an example of a map with swim lanes. And the way that you create a map with swim lanes is you go here to the blank templates, you click in flowcharts, and here, for example, is a blank horizontal swim lane with blue background map, and that's how you would get started.
Will the walkthrough presentation work with flowcharts?
No, the question is, will the walkthrough presentation work with flowcharts? And the answer is not in this first release. So, that's not included in this release. All the other kind of capabilities that you are used to using in terms of markers and notes and attachments and links will work, but the walkthrough is not available in this first release.
This is awesome. Bye-bye, visitor.
So there are some people who are saying this is great. In fact, I love this one. This person who says this is awesome. Bye-bye Visio, which is great. So yes, I think that for a lot of people, this will provide an easier way of creating flowcharts, especially given how easy it is to kind of drag and drop, and also the intelligence that these include.
So someone asked, and you had asked this before, but someone asked, can you combine all the different types of topics in the same connected map? Or turn, or turn.
Yeah, so someone asked, can you combine different kinds of topics in a single map? And the answer is yes. So in this map, we have a flowchart on the left, and then I entered a task topic over here with subtopics, and as you can see, it all rolls up and is, if you're used to using MindManager for project management, it's what you're accustomed to. Same with budget. Map parts are available, so I actually used map parts to drag this budget in and then modify it. And again, the way you add different kinds of topics to your map, you can use map parts to drag in different pre-formatted topics if you're accustomed to doing that. You can also add a topic and then go to design and layout and pick kind of what I would, I'm used to using I usually use right map, so I would click right map. You could do an org chart, and then here's the org chart. So just as you're used to adding. Okay, we're just at the 10:30 point. I know people are busy. We'll stay on for one more minute to see if there are any more questions, and otherwise, I really thank you for attending. This will be posted on our website. The recording will be posted. MindManager 2016 will be available on October 15th. So that's when you can get your hands on it. It's really great. We've been having a lot of fun with it, and you can see, I think I did tell you about all the user interface enhancements. The user interface has been updated, and I think looks great. So congratulations to the product team on that. If you have been thinking about upgrading, or if you have MindManager 15, but now that you've seen the demo, you want to get 2016, we have some promos going on, so take advantage of them. They're good through this Friday. Okay, everybody, thanks so much. We'll probably schedule a repeat version of this webinar in the next few weeks. We will post it online, so if you have colleagues or friends who were hoping to participate, please share that information with them. And thanks so much for attending.